Ich bin's, euer Nordmann. Was geht ab, Freunde? Herzlich willkommen zu einem weiteren Video. Und darauf erstmal einen Schluck Kaffee, weil es ist jetzt 4:07 Uhr. Der Startstream vom Death-Stream ist natürlich schon an und ich bin wieder für euch aufgestanden. Und ja, Freunde, diesmal haben wir anstatt 3, 4 Death-Streams tatsächlich nur den einen. Und genau deswegen ziehen wir uns das Ganze heute Uncut rein. Bleibt auf jeden Fall dran, vergesst nicht zu abonnieren und haut auf den Like-Button. Vielen, vielen Dank dafür. Und wir gehen mal rüber. Vergesst nicht, am Freitagabend ab 18 Uhr bei mir auf YouTube und Twitch haben wir das Streamer, nicht den, sondern das Streamer-Weekend. Und ich würde mich auf jeden Fall freuen, wenn ihr vorbeikommt. Ich habe natürlich auch was zu verschenken. 75 € GPORTAL Guthaben, deswegen lohnt sich auf jeden Fall das Reinschauen. So, Freunde, wir gehen rein in den Death-Stream. Ich brauche mal meine Kopfhörerchen. Dann machen wir mal laut. Ist auf jeden Fall Hype da, 2900 Leute sind da. Ich mache mal nochmal ein bisschen leiser. Die sind jetzt seit 8 Minuten da und damit wir keine Werbung bekommen, Freunde. Also es geht auf jeden Fall ab, ohne Ende hier schon wieder. Hype ist auf jeden Fall wieder groß, Freunde. Wie jedes Jahr. Kennen wir ja schon. So, damit wir diese ganze Werbung nicht bekommen, habe ich mir extra meinen Prime-Sub aufbewahrt für Prime. Und los geht's. So, was muss ich nun machen? Teilen. Everyone. Ja, so sieht das Ganze aus. Im Chat geht es auf jeden Fall rund. Ich werde das Bild natürlich gleich groß machen, Freunde, sobald die da sind. Damit wir den Chat nicht die ganze Zeit sehen. Weil ich finde immer, wenn so viel los ist im Chat, das lenkt ein bisschen ab. Wir lassen es aber jetzt noch mal ein bisschen zu gucken, wer so da ist. Aha, hi Nordmann. Ich werde gleich direkt begrüßt. Wer ist denn das? Kenne ich die? Wahrscheinlich schon. Muss ich mal gucken. Oder den. Oh, folgt mir seit 34 Minuten. Also kenne ich noch nicht. Aber ist doch nett. Danke. Ja, die lassen meistens eigentlich immer so 10 Minuten, aber jetzt sind sie schon drüber. Naja, Freunde. Geht bestimmt gleich los. 3000 Leute schon da, ey. So, wir machen das mal so. Wir können auch so den Chat einblenden. So sieht's ein bisschen besser aus.
Well, hello everybody. Whoa. How are you all doing? So, we are here. It's the Storms Brewing Update 2.0, which actually feels more like, excitement brewing in here. There's so many people. I'm glad they're all here. I'm actually going to pass it over to Rick to go ahead and do a little bit of an intro. But
hey, how you doing tonight? Richard, co-founder of the Fun Pimps. We're extremely excited about the Storms Brewing Update and all the buzz that's surrounding it. We've got a fantastic content-filled update. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the team. The team has busted it year after year. The fans have responded, and you've all made this possible for us to keep this going. And so, hearts out to you all. We love you all, and love the team. And
wir lieben
now that
euch
we're done
auch.
with the emotional stuff, we'll get back to down to business here.
Okay.
Anyway, we want to share everything that we're doing with this update tonight, and get you amped up to play it soon.
Well, cool. So everybody, we have a script we're gonna read from. Somewhat, but we're gonna go through some things. We want to show you a lot of cool stuff. I'm actually So we don't have any slides this time. I know you all love those, but we're going to actually do most of the showing in game. So I know that's not as cool as I'm kidding. Everybody loves seeing in game. So I'm just kidding with you. But yeah, we're going to do this. So let me go ahead. So we're going to start first. We have some random gen improvements. Let me click here.
Random gen improvement.
And let Rick talk about it as I do it.
Zeig mal her hier.
So our buddy Sean has been busy making random gen even cooler. There's all kinds of upgrades to it. He's made the tiles, like the padding around tiles, closer so that there's possible for elevations that are closer to cities and towns. The wilderness roads are much more believable. When you fly around aerial, you're like, oh yeah, those look a lot better. The roads connect. There's the propagation and distribution of the wilderness locations is much better. Towns have independent elevations. Fixed many bugs and improved it. So it's generating quite fast. You know, Lathan has.
Okay, sagt ja, dass kleine Sachen behoben worden sind.
Generated world. It takes a couple minutes for
und dass es jetzt schneller geht und ja, wie gesagt, Bugfixes in dem Generator behoben worden sind. Ich hoffe.
Because we have some locations that we're going to be showing you, some different things that we're going to talk about once this finishes.
Ich hoffe, dass diese kleinen Berge nicht mehr vor den POIs sind, wenn man Random World macht. Das hat immer ganz schön genervt.
Part of the improvements while we're waiting, he's created a new sub-biome system that allows clearings and more detailed sort of like lush forest, thicker forest areas. You'll recognize it in the forest biome a lot and in the desert a lot because it's clustering.
Keiner im Chat möchte den Random World Generator sehen. Wir wollen alle was anderes sehen. Das wissen die genau.
And, that allows for kind of meadows that are more open and more thick, lush areas, and it's quite a good improvement, and it allows you to kind of see, not always see what's behind the trees, and there's no cost to performance because the guys have balanced it quite well to accommodate for that.
Und sie haben Discord überall mit reingemacht. Man kann jetzt unten links auf Discord klicken und ist dann auf dem Discord. Okay.
So, I guess Lathan's going to have to tell
Version 2 B279.
No, we don't need any jokes. We got it. Look at that. Boom. It's like 2 minutes, everybody. 2 minutes.
Ja, it's 2 minutes. Das ist für eine 10K schon schnell.
There we go. 2 minutes. Did somebody have a stopwatch?
Okay. We're not doing TI testing. We are going to do using this.
Was ich jetzt scheiße finde, ist, dass sie das Startmenü nicht zeigen. Ich hoffe, das machen sie noch. Weil da werden wir dann natürlich auch die DLCs und so weiter sehen. Ich hoffe jetzt, dass die auch den Shop und so zeigen.
Our company Twitter was messed up and the other day and I did a test.
Okay, das ist alles noch gleich. Ich gucke gerade schon wieder als Modder, was alles auf mich zukommt.
And I couldn't believe how many people responded back to just the simple word hello. It was like, but anyway, thank you all for responding to that. It was amazing. We laughed about that.
They're all just so friendly. Thanks, everybody.
They are. It was a friendly group. You know, I may have to do more of those coming up.
Okay, so it is. We're getting there, and then we actually have coordinates that we're going to teleport to, and I'm going to show you some stuff. And then actually after that, we have we get to talk a little bit about biome progression.
Yeah, okay. There's a whole lot of topics.
Ich denke nicht, dass sie das mit den DLCs zeigen werden, aber schade. Naja, abwarten, was alles kommt. Jetzt haben sie gerade erstmal gesagt, dass sie sich erstmal irgendwo erstmal rumteleportieren wollen und ein bisschen was zeigen und dann natürlich mit dem Biom-Prozess, also wie das Ganze verläuft.
We know the build's late, but we think it's good.
So Rick, one thing that I keep randomly seeing people ask is how many guitars are in your office there?
Well, the total number in this room, you can't see from the camera, there's about 19 guitars.
Mhm. Oha, die Bäume.
Okay. There's the answer,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yes.
Did you lift your,
Well, I guess I'm
remote?
counting banjos.
Oh, you
There's
have-
19 stringed instruments. How's that?
Wir haben jetzt
There's a
auch
piano over there you
Post.
can't see.
Da.
Uh,
Wir haben Post. Auf
yep,
hier haben wir einen-
I'm a music lover. Always have been.
Okay. So,
Sehr, sehr
hold on.
nice.
Let me fix one thing, because you aren't.
So right there. So
Hey,
right
was hat
there
der
in
denn
front of
für
the camera, you
Items?
can see that he
Here.
there's clusters of.
Hold on
trees
just
together.
one moment. Because I want to make sure they
Wait.
can hear everything. Just give me 2 seconds, everybody.
Okay.
The volume wasn't set right. So, yeah, it should be good now. So I'm going to click back over. And,
Wieder mal Tonprobleme, aber guck mal, das Ganze,
There you go.
alles.
okay, so here, I'm going to fly up and go ahead and... Wait, where was it?
You want to teleport to the coordinates, or do you want to just kind of
Yeah, I thought I did. Okay.
look around? You can see the trees are clustered in groups, and then there's clearings more. Sean and Alan worked hard on this.
Auf jeden Fall haben wir neu schon mal Wasser.
Balance that.
Ist ein neues
It gives the
Icon.
world a little more, a lot more believability with the dispersion of the foliage.
Und das Essen auch, tatsächlich. Sehen ihr das?
And well, you can
Da.
kind of see that the wilderness roads are a little more.
Und der
organic.
Zettel ist auch nicht mehr gelb.
They work themselves around mountains.
Yeah. You can see over there,
it-
too. Yeah, you can see...
The city tiles, because of the stamp padding that Sean adjusted, you'll see more elevations close to city areas or town areas.
Sieht auch viel sauberer aus. Die Straßen und so weiter. Viel, viel sauberer als vorher.
I don't know if we need to teleport. I think that there's some pretty cool stuff just in
Yeah.
every world you spin up.
No, there really
not-
is. I mean, there's...
Use the shift.
Da bin ich aber
What
nicht
is
so
it?
begeistert
Shift
von,
Q
dass
to
das
kinda-
Wasser und das Essen ein neues
Slide
Icon hat,
fast
muss ich
over
ganz
one of
ehrlich
those
sagen. Da kommst du ja vor
Yeah.
wie in der Mod.
So there's, you know, we're really just talking about the country roads that are going around. I mean, it's one of the
Road-
nice features that's added. Go ahead. Ray.
Roads in general, I think, are more believable and smooth, and the
Genauso-
terrain, stamps that come next to city tiles are more believable. The roads meet up with the driveways of the POIs,
Ja.
much improved.
Das ist auf jeden Fall viel besser geworden mit den,
And
mit den
quite a
Straßen.
little
Guck mal, wie
bugs
sauber
with
das
that.
aussieht. Das war sonst nicht
Ja.
so.
Anyway, as always, we keep improving random gen, so you can replay the game as many times as you want to. Maybe we should get into biome progression. Do you?
Yeah, I think the burnt forest is over here, so we can talk just a little bit about it. Let me
So-
get down on the ground.
So the weather and biome progression are sort of two components that sort of work together. There's an inherent
Here, hold on, just a sec.
hazard condition to each biome as you progress that is more like a Zelda perma-damage that you can eventually overcome through challenges. And then there's
Wait, that's
another
the wasteland.
component.
That's not the I was
It's
looking-
that's
Wasteland.
Yeah.
the wasteland. Yeah, go back up in the air.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah. We won't show that one. I was gonna demonstrate with that, but I mean,
Let's show it later.
Yeah.
Let's show the burnt forest.
let's see. I'm trying to remember where it was on the map. Is it? Nope. So it's gotta be over here,
No, I
ja.
think I think you're right. I think it's that way.
right? That's it right there.
Yep. There you go. Go to the edge right there.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll get right here.
Is that?
No, it's Wasteland.
No,
again.
shit, that's still wasteland. Man, we're making these
Oh,
zones too big, everybody.
Prime, Alter.
We're
Der ist
making
immer
them
so
too big.
lost, ehrlich.
That's
Is it
burnt.
that?
No, that's it. Right there. Okay.
Ai,
Yeah, that's what
ai,
happens
ai,
whenever
ai.
you hold shift and just press Q to get around. Okay. Dang it, Prime. I know, right?
So the average progression of the game is you'd quest through Trader Rect, and then he would direct you eventually to opening trade routes to Trader Jan, and you'd find out that or if you're playing sandbox, you'd find out that I could, okay, I need to get in the burnt forest, and then when you go into it, you discover that you need to overcome the challenge of it and obtain a biome badge. So I'll let Lathan you drive and talk.
Also das neue Wasserglas finde ich irgendwie nicht so geil.
When you here, let me make it where they can see me. Okay, so when you are you find the burned forest for the first time, you come on in, you go, okay, this is fun. Oh shit, hold on, wait a minute. I just realized I have biome progression turned off, so I was testing it earlier. Okay, so Rick, talk a little bit more, and then when it's turned back on, he will.
Oh mein Gott, Leute, die sind immer so lost in diesen Dev-Streams. Er hat jetzt das Biome Progression hat er aus. Also das kann man anscheinend ein- und ausschalten. Das finde ich schon mal ziemlich cool. Habe ich mir ja genauso gewünscht. Finde ich gut. Also ich gehe da stark von aus, sonst hätte er das jetzt ja angehabt, ne? Aber ja, das sind die typischen Dev-Streams, Freunde. Deswegen heute auch das Uncut-Video, damit ihr das auch mal mitbekommt.
A biome badge, or like think of it as a merit
Das
badge.
ist aber unterhaltsam.
Boy Scout merit badge, if you will. And once you overcome that, you have immunity there, and therefore you can live there. Perma live there if you want, quest there without the fear of the impending smoke and fumes that are in the forest, for example.
Ist ja auch gerade schon nichts passiert, wo uns Wasteland reingelaufen ist.
Get sick and have to leave. You can't stay there permanently. And
here, hold on. That's annoying me to see that. Okay, there we go.
So there's two systems. The first is biome progression.
So we came on in and. Oh my gosh, look, there's a buff. 3 minutes. The thick slope. Okay, it's gone now. But as you can see, the screen is getting it's getting a little hard to see. And what's gonna happen whenever that makes it, man, I wish it wasn't 3 minutes. This is gonna be a lot of just waiting around for it to get to it.
Well, do something.
Shimmy my
challenge. Show them some of that.
Yeah, let's show you some of the
cool.
challenge. So let's go to challenges and look, everybody. There is a brand new
neue burnt forest
that I have to hold on. Yeah.
Oh, you had to finish the quest. Yeah.
Yes.
So it doesn't allow. Yeah.
Give me
So a prerequisite to weather survival or biomes for progression survival is to.
Aber ist cool. Gefällt mir bisher richtig
survival.
gut. Gefällt mir richtig gut.
And then it unlocks that.
Don't worry, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, everybody.
So, yeah, and one other thing about this too is if this is not your cup of tea, if you want to play a simulation that does not have biome progression turned on, we have a simple menu option.
Auch das Husten und so, mega geil.
Therefore, you can play like you did in 1.0.
It's getting hard to see, everybody.
Okay, das werden wir im Streamer Weekend machen. Wir machen das natürlich an und ziehen durch alle Biome. Das ist das Ziel für das Wochenende.
Never mind. I can't do it.
Ich hoffe, dass wir jetzt noch sehen.
So, he's trying to do two things at once here.
No, you're fine. You can go ahead and keep explaining. We got a minute 20.
Okay, die Bäume sehen echt ganz anders aus.
So basically, the challenge system has a new tab for weather survival, and it would guide you through what you need to do to accomplish immunity or a biome badge for the burnt forest for the burnt forest. And it's a number of challenges.
Es gibt da wirklich jetzt Challenges für jedes Biom. Das finde ich mega geil. Finde ich wirklich krass. Finde ich cool gemacht.
Yes, it is.
So it's collect a number of mushrooms that are in this biome.
Aber was passiert? Collect, where, okay, crafting, okay.
Specific resources.
Was muss man machen, um sich da aufzuhalten? Das würde ich gerne noch wissen.
Specific biome zombies that spawn in this biome.
Okay.
And once you accomplish the challenge of getting through,
it's 30 seconds. We're almost there to finally see the effects.
Ja.
We just need.
So it doesn't damage you for the.
Schade, sie zeigen es jetzt nicht.
This is considered the easiest biome of the progressive biomes, the burnt forest, and then you would begin to start to take damage. And there's also a recipe to.
There we go.
To lengthen your immunity or in it that you could also.
Boah, hier der Effekt.
But,
so now I'm suffocating everybody. I'm taking damage.
Okay, jetzt kriegen wir Schaden.
And then here, let me go ahead and leave. So I don't want to die on screen.
Alles verschwemmt so ein bisschen. Alter.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, das ist cool.
Oh, we made it. We made it, everybody.
And
to breathe
there's a little bit of a recovery time before you can go back in with the full timer there.
So, now, showing what we are talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
Wir brauchen wirklich eine
Now,
Rüstung.
Where
Armor, burn survival.
Let's just pick one of. Well, actually, we did loot any of the containers. Craft a burnt smoothie. Harvest nitrate powder.
Okay, geil.
Kill burnt in the burnt forest, and then survive that long. We can at least go kill the burnt one so you can see it.
Okay, und wenn du die fertig hast, kannst du dich da aufhalten, oder wie? Nee, das ist ja Quatsch.
They progress per biome to get a little more difficult to achieve.
Das musst du immer in den 20 Minuten machen. Okay.
The biome badge.
Yes.
But it's a nice measured progression to the game.
Ist mega geil. Also gefällt mir echt gut. Wie gefällt euch das?
And
schreibt's gerne in die Kommentare, Freunde.
Along with the biome progression is a feature that we call the biome stage loot cap.
Yes, the loot stage max. Yeah.
Cap. Yeah. And
auf wie er immer so Qualm hustet.
Biome progression turned on, the loot stage cap is active. If you disable biome progression, you don't want that. It doesn't cap any of the loot. But it basically will, when you reach a specific loot stage, it'll clamp it, and you'd see an icon that would let you know that you've reached the loot cap. To raise the loot cap, you would go into the next biome. Let's say you've reached the loot cap in the forest because you played so long in there. You've leveled up. You've reached a certain loot stage. Once you see the loot stage cap, to raise it in the forest, you have to go to the burnt forest and achieve immunity there, and then that would raise the loot cap there, and you would continue that, so forth. Eventually, you'll reach the loot cap in the burnt forest, and to raise that loot cap, you have to achieve the biome badge immunity from the desert.
Yeah.
So on and so forth there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm showing off the biome badge. So let's just pretend like I finished all those. And
biome
I went to the
badge.
trader.
Okay.
I got my biome badge. Now I have it.
Badge.
So what that does is now I can walk around the burnt forest all I want. No big deal. But if I go to the next biome, I still have to work my way through it.
Yeah, so if he went to the desert now, he would not have immunity in the desert. And you can play the loot clamp is stage clamp cap is pretty generous. And again, it can be turned off to play the classic style.
Prime braucht unbedingt mal einen besseren PC. Das ruckelt bei ihm, ja, das ist ja nicht mehr normal.
But so this is the basic system. You don't have to change clothes a bunch and all that business like you would in a Zelda or a Valheim. It's more about accomplishing your merit.
Also wenn ich das jetzt richtig verstanden habe, musst du in dem Biom die Aufgaben machen, um dafür dieses Badge zu bekommen. Dass du dieses Abzeichen bekommst quasi, damit du dich da aufhalten kannst. Ja, easy. Das schaffen wir doch in dem Wochenende, oder? Ja, locker.
Progress through the game and encounter more difficult challenges.
Yes. So that's really it for the biome stuff. I mean, as you... Go ahead.
Das sieht halt tatsächlich nach nichts aus, aber ich könnte euch vorstellen, wie viel Arbeit das war.
Effects, heat exhaustion from the desert, freezing from the snow.
Und die Modder weinen gerade alle, weil das wieder ein bisschen Arbeit wird, das anzupassen.
Effects of radiation in Wasteland. So we're not going to show all those.
Yeah.
You'll end up kind of seeing those for yourself. We want to leave a little bit to the imagination there. The next thing we were going to talk about is dynamic storms, and
let me go. You wanted to do that in the snow, right?
Dynamic storms.
Yeah, but go
okay,
ahead,
cool.
Go ahead and give yourself all biome badges first.
Sure.
Through the cheat menu.
Yeah.
Cheat Menu. Okay, das sind die Badges, die wir bekommen müssen. Das ist aber mega cool.
So now we have.
Das gefällt mir echt gut.
Good. But it does not protect against storms, everybody.
So
Also schützt ihn nicht vor
dynamic storms are a
Stürmen.
separate element in the game. The way they work
Ja,
is
oh, da war die Frostklaue, habt ihr gesehen?
there is a
Da war die
setting
Frostklaue.
for storm frequency. You can set between 0 and 500%.
Rennt er gleich
Set it at
weg.
0, you're going to have no dynamic storms that are injured that could actually cause injury to you as a player.
Alter, was ruckelt das bei Prime? Das geht mir so auf den Sack.
That type of storm, but you can, if you leave it at default, you would only get non-damaging storms in the forest, but once you get into the burnt forest and above, you could encounter different dynamic storm types. There's hot ember storms in the burnt forest. There's sandstorms in the desert. There's snowstorms in the.
Ich bin gerade ein bisschen erleichtert als Modder, muss ich ganz ehrlich sagen, weil ich glaube, so viel wird es gar nicht. Sieht nicht so aus.
Yeah, so I would say,
trigger it.
Yeah, go ahead and go into the snow biome and trigger find a little
Resor
POI
Storm
so you can kind of get near
24.
Good point. Okay,
fly around.
Let's
Fly around a little bit, fly in the snow, and kind of look for like a little.
There's a little house.
There you go. Get.
Okay, also jetzt bin ich gespannt.
Let's make sure I can.
You got 60 seconds when the warning.
Yeah.
So then command here would be weather storm 24.
Yes. Okay. So here I'm gonna come over here.
Let's go.
So you can all see this. Okay.
Mega.
There's a fairly generous lead time, a warning time, if you will.
Okay, that's no warning.
Would
storm
be
warning. Oh
und
no.
Frostklaue.
60 seconds you'd have before it would do
Boah,
more.
krass. Das finde ich geil.
I didn't want to show that guy until we're ready for it, so.
Oh, that's fine.
Jetzt sind wir schnell alle
we're gonna show
getötet.
the guy. Just calm down.
Ja,
So
ja.
the storm kind of it's sort of like built up, if you will, in that.
Oh, ich bin
warning
richtig
phase.
begeistert, muss ich sagen.
start
Ich bin
to see
echt
some of the
begeistert.
trees start blowing. You start to see some wind picking up, and but it doesn't get as heavy and thick until the warning phase is over.
Das ist ja das beste
This is
Update
kind of
ever.
designed to throw you off as a player. You've
Guckt euch
overcome
das
a lot
mal
of
an.
challenges. The training wheels are off. You're past the forest biome, and you need more challenges. This might trip up your playstyle a little bit, and you may have to take shelter, or seek
geil.
shelter, or get out of the biome because of the weather that can actually damage you.
See shelter now.
Oh no.
Okay, so then now you see a buff on the left
6,
side
5.
thing. You
Da ist auch wieder der
6
Buff.
seconds left or you'll start taking
Und
damage.
was passiert jetzt?
It
To find
hurts.
shelter.
It hurts.
Okay, der kriegst jetzt
Gotta
Damage.
get in there.
Du musst quasi da reingehen.
We're safe.
Also du musst im
there's also
Shelter
zombies in here.
sein. Das ist natürlich aber auch hart, ne?
He's safe. If he
Geil
went back
gemacht,
outside, it
cool.
would.
Freue mich drüber.
Warning would
Mega.
not start over. It would go back. To
Mega.
The damage. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 seconds. So you could sprint effectively if you had medication or a vehicle. You could try to sprint or make it to
Krass.
a new shelter out of the biome if you're feeling frisky.
I'm
Mega
safe,
krank.
everybody. I'm safe.
Ja, you're safe
But
from
these are
storm.
progressively worse with each biome. This is the snow biome is the third hardest of the
Man hat
three.
immer wieder
So,
10 Sekunden, ne?
The
wenn man
burnt forest
rausgeht.
has the hot ember storms. So this is like they all have a 60-second warning, but the damage threshold and the time is increased with each biome for difficulty there.
Does the storm
Mega.
hurt you while in a vehicle? Yes. Yes.
Okay, also Auto ist man auch anscheinend.
We
Oder?
did copy Stalker's emission system.
Haben Sie das gerade
This
gefragt?
is a design of our own.
Yeah.
I played
Scheiße,
the
schon
first
weg.
Stalker and don't remember it. But
Ich weiß nicht genau, ob sie gefragt haben, ob das Auto sicher ist oder ob man, ob man immer ins Auto
Yeah,
sicher
if
ist
it's
oder
good,
nicht. Und ich
you know,
habe es
hey.
nicht verstanden, schade.
hats off to him.
Aber ich gehe davon aus, dass man auch im
So,
Auto sicher ist.
Let's see. Let me turn that off, and then storm. Is that what they said?
So Essentially, that's one version of this. It gets better.
Nö. Alter, was wackelt das
The guys that
Baum?
built a system that we can build upon. I mean, if future updates, if we want to get more aggressive with additional weather types, we can build upon that. Tornadoes.
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
Krass.
So,
Also
let's see.
ich muss sagen, absoluter Wahnsinn. Ich bin richtig begeistert bisher von dem Deathstream. Richtig, richtig geil.
If you don't like dynamic weather, you set it to 0%.
Yes.
And you will not be dealing with that additional simulation problem. So, Clayton, you were gonna why don't you take us to
Let's get back into the forest or okay. Well,
The sa-
oh
the
no,
safe
I didn't
biome.
want to show that. Their command didn't work. Hold on. Weather storm.
Ganz schön viel Gelb,
I
ne?
thought I could just set the time back. 160.
Die ganzen
Ja,
IDs
ich
von
glaub-
den Zombies are missing.
can you remove the warnings? Was there? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not a modder can, but I mean, we're going to keep it that way. Okay, so here, I'm going to show, so we're going to touch on the perk trees. We're not going to go like line by line and
Guckt
show
euch
you
mal
every
die
single
Bäume
one. I
an.
do want you all to, experience it, enjoy it,
Ja.
do
Sie
some
wollen nicht alles
exploration
zeigen,
on your own,
aber
but
schon
we're
ein
gonna show
bisschen,
little bit.
damit es eine schöne Erfahrung wird.
Let's go on in. So as far as the skills, we've went out of our way to
Neue
so
Skills.
all of them are now 5 levels. All the perks that were previously 3,
Alle haben
4,
jetzt 5. Geil.
we made them 5, except for the ones that we moved to the new general tab
Mhm.
or general
Big changes.
perks.
Yeah, the big change in the general tab and
Ah.
the feedback we got from the community over the years is some of these are must-have perks, and
Okay.
you're forcing me to play in the perception or the strength skill tree, and the general tab was designed to say, well, okay,
Also die größte
you
Veränderung ist
guys
in
are
dem
right. Well, let's fix
generell-
that. And
generellen
so the general
Tab.
tab is really a response to that. Go ahead.
Okay,
Nathan.
geil.
Yeah. So we're going to show just a couple of changes. I don't, like I said, we don't want to go too far into it. Maybe we could show
Nicht alles zeigen,
have
bitte.
some that we
Genau.
wanted to show, or are we just picking a couple? I know we wanted to show one of the masteries. Which mastery do you want to show? What sounds good?
Okay, es gibt jetzt
I don't know.
Master.
So yeah, another big change that Joel and Alan were really excited about was perk mastery. That's new.
Perk
So when
Master.
you reach the
Mhm.
bottom or the top level of a perk, it gives you kind of like, it's almost like the completion series for the books. It gives you a special thing there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, die haben ganz viele
Well, I'm already
Icons
showing the
geändert.
siphoning strikes
Oder
at this
neu
way, because I saw
hinzugefügt.
someone say it. So
Den kenne ich zum Beispiel
just
noch
a
nicht.
new perk that melee kills grant 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Wow,
It's nice, right?
that's nice.
Okay.
Ja, es waren ja auch immer
and
so viele
then
Punkte über, wenn man schon fertig war, ne?
How about agility? You want to do agility? Agility master? You can see what that one is. How's that sound, everybody?
Agility. Ja, hau
Okay, we're
raus.
doing it. So,
Do it.
master agility. Leg hits have a 40% chance to instantly cripple enemies.
Okay,
Handguns
40%, dass sie
27
verkrüppelt sind.
20% faster. Man, maybe you should be talking.
Handgun.
Handguns now
20%.
cause bleeding.
Okay, wow.
Graceful reflexes deflect the first zombie or animal attack with ease. Recharges every 60 seconds.
Was random.
And then fully drawn bow shots bypass enemy armor, doing full damage plus an extra 25%.
Das heißt, die Master geben tatsächlich Skills
So that's the
nochmal
mastery.
obendrauf
Yeah,
irgendwie auf
that is the
alles.
agility
Also es
mastery.
kann
And as you
komplett,
can see, you have
komplett
to have agility
unterschiedlich
level
sein.
6, 7,
Ah,
8, 9, and 10 to get
oh,
to.
krass.
So
krass.
these are, you got to be
Okay.
specced in a bit.
Damit ziehen sie das
That's
Game auf
same
jeden Fall ein
with all
bisschen in
the
eine Länge.
masters.
Sehr gut. Geil.
But like
It's
run and
good.
gun, other ones, parkour, only had a few levels. Now it's got 5. But like I said, I'm not going to go through all these.
Sehr cool. Gefällt mir.
But there's been a pretty good boost to it. the guys have been listening.
Ich glaube, das wird das geilste Update überhaupt, Freunde. Wirklich.
Analysis of how to improve it, and we've done so in what we feel is a non-destructive way.
Krass.
That hopefully everybody will be happy with.
Ja. Ich bin happy.
Past that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We could
Ich
move
bin
on
happy
to
bis jetzt.
the perk books. We did add that sledge.
Yeah.
Is it Sledgehammer Saga?
Yeah, Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer
Okay.
Saga is a new book series. It was a missing book series, and therefore we added it. And if you're a Sledgehammer person, you're going to be excited.
Yeah, so you all. Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Let me get out of the way so you can see. But adds 10% knockdown. Sledgehammer's a great 20% faster. I could read all these, but the main one's going to be this bad boy right here.
Crush Kills.
Refill your stamina with each power attack kill.
Oh, wie krass ist das denn? Also mit jedem Power-Attack, also mit einem schweren Attacke mit dem Sledgehammer, kriegst du auch noch wieder Ausdauer dazu. Ja, moin. Wie krass. Also bei jedem Kill mit dem schweren Schlag kriegst du noch Ausdauer wieder zurück. Okay, ich glaube, ich werde jetzt auch Hammer-Spieler. Krass.
We're showing them some love. Glad. I hope
Klingt
everybody
gut.
really enjoys
Klingt
it.
gut. Wow.
I think other than that, I can't remember if there's any other book changes, but you will have to find that on your own, everybody, when you get a chance to try the build. I think now
it's too much to digest. So we're going to get a little bit into performance. Everybody asks about it.
Here, I'm going to go back to the screen.
So there's been a few things that have happened. All the trees have been unified to use the same speed tree graphic shader, and a lot of them have been packed to reduce straw calls for better performance. There's a new spawning system that allows the level designers to spawn more efficiently, trickle spawn, if you will, and to keep the enemy counts at a reasonable level for performance. A lot of the large POIs have been had a pass to utilize that. More city remnant POIs have been made. NVIDIA's DLSS upscaling option has been added, so those who have NVIDIA video cards can take advantage of that upscaling to get better performance and better graphics at the same time. Let's move on. Now that you have those new perks and books, we thought, well, we don't want you to be too OP as a player. You need a scaling challenge. So we've got some new enemies to show, and classes to show off here.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me click on back. I'm going to go ahead and show you this time. So, I could show them in their own environment, but I could just spawn them. I mean, maybe that's just an easier.
You could do so. So we've talked quite a bit about the Plague Spitter. He's a desert guardian, if you will, kind of. And Sean and team have been working on giving him unique behaviors. So some of the enemies he will vomit a swarm of pestilence. There he's doing it. And they come for you. It's more effective to use melee weapons against the pestilence than firearms. It distracts you from dealing with him, and he can creep up on you. And between this guy and the vultures in the desert it gets kind of scary the first time you go into the desert now. So you want to get closer to him, or turn around, spawn him so behind you there.
I'll stare at him for a second. I have God mode on, so everybody can take a look at him between him splattering my blood everywhere.
This is an amazing model made by Joel Byington. Character team is killing it.
Ich brauchte unbedingt neuen Kaffee. Oh, der neue.
A swarm when you're close to him, and if you time your
sieht der
attack,
geil aus.
noticing that he's going to spit a swarm, you can prevent him from
auch ein geiler Sound.
From spitting a swarm.
Wirklich geiler Sound.
If you time your attacks right, your distance attacks, that is. Now back off from him again.
Oh no, you already did it.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to teach them all the strats right here.
Richtig
Oh,
gut.
no, not so much.
So, der gefällt mir echt gut, der Zombie. Nice.
Why don't we show them
War ja erst ein bisschen kritisch, ne? Aber
Ja.
Version 2 ist, glaube ich, wirklich das geilste Update überhaupt. Jetzt kommt der Frostklaue. Jawohl.
They saw him a few times. I was trying to hide him, but whoops. Let me get out.
So he's kind of designed to be a native sort of protector of this biome that you would see more thick. You know, in the cities you'd see more gen pop, and you could see gen pop in the normal areas. But
Da ist er, der
you can spawn one
Hühnerschläger.
if you want.
Oh, no, he's right there. There he is.
But
Boah.
he will.
Was? Der wirft Steine.
He lobs boulders at you, and
No way.
And they have radius damage.
No way,
that actually
Alter.
Holy shit! That took a lot of your. And then then he'll charge on you.
Wie geil, ey.
So imagine this guy on Horde Night, guys. You know the blocks also might damage something else besides you.
Wow. Auch in der Hordennacht wirft er damit,
Yeah,
ne?
that's
Macht
a
richtig
lot.
Damage, ey. Scheiße.
So that's the Frostclaw, new behaviors.
Geil.
Andre
Der Zombie ist ja
particle effects
richtig
on
geil, Alter.
AI, audio by Andrew, collaborative design between a lot of us.
What the fuck? Lagen wir wohl alle falsch, ne?
Scary.
Mit unserer Vermutung.
You can interrupt his.
Er sieht aber auch richtig geil aus. Wirklich krass.
You can yeah. You know, there's a few bugs in the build.
Yeah,
Oh, der ist
fine, everybody.
ganz schön oft da,
that'd
ne?
be fine.
You can. He does do a sound
Wow.
cue, and you can kind of interrupt his throw if you time it well. And so there's a skill test to that.
Wie geil.
Yeah.
So now let's just go back to the forest biome. Let's talk a little bit about the game stage classes that we've added.
Game Stage
And
Classes.
so the yin and yang for this build is the perks have mastery classes and but now we've added blue charged enemies classes that are higher stage than the green radiated, and we've added orange infernal classes that
Wow.
all have kind of different behaviors. So the charged blue are fat. They have more hit points than the green, and you wouldn't
Richtig
encounter
krass.
them until you reach a higher game stage. And but they're faster. They turn faster. They attack faster.
Mhm.
They might surprise you with what they might be resistant to. I won't say anymore.
Do you want me to
but-
spawn one?
Yeah, spawn some charged enemies. A few. They're kind of
es
lighter
gibt
weight
das
enemies.
sind die
Instead of
neuen.
every enemy being charged, we kind of divide them into the ones that are not heavier.
Okay. Die sind auf jeden Fall stark, würde ich sagen.
So somebody said
Okay,
confidence is. The
Prime ist
confidence
gleich
is
tot.
that we're
Alter.
dropping experimental
Yo.
Monday, next Monday, and we're once experimental goes stable, it'll
Das
go
finde ich
stable
richtig
on
gut.
Steam and stable on console simultaneous. We're targeting June 30th.
Hast
for
du das
that.
gesehen? Der dreht sich sogar weg, der Bruder.
Yep. So these guys are kind of frightening. If you're a higher game stage and you want more game stylish, we've increased some of the challenge of the game because we realized that once you kind of hit a certain level in the
Yeah.
game that it's not quite as challenging anymore, especially in co-op or parties. So with the
Das wird auf
mastery
jeden Fall
perks, they'll
aufregend.
pair really quite nice with that.
Die sind strong.
Yeah, my
Die sind
primitive armor
richtig
is
strong.
not cutting it with these guys. Just throwing
Wow.
that out there. My primitive armor with my tier 4 pistol is
Do you want to? Why don't you
Oh, er wird
build
schon
a
wieder
little
abgeworfen hier.
wood base real quick?
Boah, ich freu mich gerade so krass auf Streamer Weekend. Das wird echt gut.
well, why don't we just take over this and then you're just
All
wanting me
right, and then
to
we'll-
defend against them, right? Let them break
Wahnsinn,
out.
was die für eine Arbeit
go in
geleistet
there
haben.
and click and kill
Krass.
all or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nobody in there.
No, there was a guy right there. I killed him. Yeah.
All right. So then, now let's spawn some Infernals. Now they're tankier. They're not as fast as the radiated green, but they're tankier and they do.
Oh, das sind die noch. Die machen richtig Black Damage.
So when you get to the orange Infernals, that, and they have resistance to things that might surprise you.
Okay, well that didn't last long.
Holy shit!
Okay,
yeah, we needed to be in like a concrete building or something.
Yeah, we did. That was a bad example. Let me go find another building.
And you have to be pretty high game stage for really to get getting these guys. But
what the heck?
I'm trying to find him with my primitive armor here. One piece of it, by the way, not even a full outfit, but just one piece. Okay, hi guys. Hi everybody.
You have V-Sync on?
Ja, damit wir mal sehen, wie viel da kommt, ne?
Let me see what settings.
Screen tearing is bad.
Ultra V-Sync. Here.
Wieso macht er das aus?
Oh, V-Sync off. Okay.
Well, I mean, we can try it. I don't know if that's gonna make it better.
Oh, nicht wirklich, normalerweise.
I'm on Ultra, everybody. I'm on.
Neuer PC hilft bei dir, Prime, definitiv. Wieso triggert ihr denn jetzt hier alle? Achso.
Alright. Yeah, well, you want to see if that building holds up better?
Yeah, here, let me kill everybody. And we're gonna spawn some guys outside. Better? Okay, good. Okay, let's do this. Let's spawn you. Same guys. I'm gonna shift through the wall. Give them a moment.
Wie schnell die da reinkommen.
Okay. Let's see. I think they've already broken. Yeah, they've already broken through
Alter,
one.
wie schnell sind die da drinne?
These are both
Lecco mio, Alter.
Yeah, they're already through that one. Damn it. I didn't think that was going to last long. Okay, let's go through this one.
Oh.
Hey, the rest of you don't wake up. Don't wake up. I'm trying to prove something here.
Boah,
okay.
Well, they drop better loot bags. You know?
Das ist wild. Das ist so
I
wild.
think there's a higher chance they drop the best loot bags.
Okay.
Maybe Alan will message me on that one.
We were playing like Nightcrawler here, just zipping through, teleporting through walls, and they're just chasing me.
I think that there's a better chance that they drive.
Das ist ja kompletter Wahnsinn, Alter.
But
Junge.
if not, we should be doing that.
Die sind schon hinter dir, nee, doch nicht.
I don't have time for this. I'm trying to demonstrate something. Okay. Oh shit, the door's open. Okay, well we're gonna demonstrate it here. Why don't you give me a
Wow. Jetzt legt er noch einen drauf hier.
Yeah, they're we've done a bit of work on them. They're a lot of fun now.
Ja.
So
hast ja fast gar keine Chance mehr.
We're seriously want to make that a thing we always have.
This is just getting worse as I run through these rooms.
Yeah.
Das ist ja krass.
I guess I talked some about trees, but you're having too much fun.
I am. I think I'm running out of runway though.
Uh-oh.
Oh! Let me through. Excuse me.
Holy shit.
Where am I gonna go?
Aber läuft mit Performance, wa?
We're gonna go this way.
Yeah, the tanks are kind of scary. They'll be scary on Horde Night, the Infernals.
Das sind aber echt krasse Tanks, Alter. Junge, was die abkönnen auch. Und wie die weghauen, die Wände, das ist ja nicht mehr normal. Das ist ja kompletter Wahnsinn.
Yeah, we should. I mean, I'm just making these zombies look bad.
Why don't you just kind of go
Das ist echt der
to
Hammer.
go to the wasteland real quick. Let's just so
sure.
We've got, or wait, fly around the forest real quick. Show them how. Go down to like a thick area with a curved road, you know, where there's a lot of tree foliage all gathered.
Geil.
You can see that.
You mean like right there?
Yeah. Sometimes there's a curved road and there's a thick amount of trees and you can't always see. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting foliage collection that's way better than it used to be.
Yeah.
There's an example. Yeah.
Sehr, sehr stark, definitiv. Ich bin sprachlos.
Again, the speed tree.
Geil.
All trees have been unified to speed tree 8 shader. Many of them reduced to the draw calls for performance. And sub-biome sort of like, you know, clusters have been created. The wind settings have been unified for the storms settings, you know, when the storm comes up. Anyway, a lot of work there on the trees and some of the small shrubs too. So improvements there. So that covers that. Why don't you spawn to Shamway Factory _01. Let's show them the zombie crawl out tech. It's pretty cool. Is there Factory 01? Yeah, do that.
Okay, jetzt zeigen wir mal. Ja, drück drauf. Ui.
Yeah, so go to kind of the front of the building. Fly up. No. And okay, so you see that rooftop that your cursor's almost on? Right there, yeah. So kind of fly off to the side of that and then try to walk into that rooftop. There's some crawl outs kind of designed. You can kind of see those crawl outs if you maybe go up over there and then walk over there individually. Yeah. You know, get ready and focus on those little vents. Walk onto the rooftop. So, yeah, there's little. They can crawl out of 1 meter spaces and spawn in more interesting places and. And that's part of sort of like the spawn control system. So it'll kind of repopulate an area and keep the challenge up. But
guck mal, das spawnen immer mehr nach.
Hurt the frame rate by spawning 30 zombies in one little area, you know. But
What the
the
fuck?
challenge is interesting.
Sobald der eine stirbt, spawnt da einer nach. Das ist ja krass.
And so this systemic spawning of zombies, a lot of the tier 4s and 5s have been had a pass on that. So, Lathan, let's go into back off. I want to take you back off to outside again.
Das ist krass.
And then go in that entrance, the main entrance there, and then there's off to the left. There's sort of the front. Yeah, go in there. There's a shipping entrance. If you go left, I think. And I wanted to show you, like, we've got. All right, stop right here. Whoa, stop. Oh. Back up. You missed it.
Das ist nur ein neues Spawn-System, das ist ja Wahnsinn.
You went in too fast. So enemies, we've had roaming in 1.0, but it was not widely used. So enemies can be set to roaming, or a percentage of them will roam, and the guys made wide use of that in 2.0. So you'll notice not all enemies are sleeping on the ground and just get up. They can roam now. They could roam before, but there's wider use of that particular feature across a lot of the POIs that the guys have done. Another thing they can do is they can effectively move in 1 meter egress, and I wanted to show that off there. But they can crawl under 1 meter blocks. You're not safe with a 1 meter hole in your base anymore.
Okay, du bist nicht mehr safe mit einer Meter. Alter Schwede, okay, du bist. Ich bin. Also, das wird das geilste Update.
Yeah, you can roam where you want to.
Ehrlich.
They can roam where they want to. Roam around the world. B-52s. I don't know if there's another example or we could reset this POI. Probably not. Was there more than one Shamway in the world? Factory 01, Lathan?
No.
Oh my god, I'm muted for a second to cough and I've just been quiet this whole time. Man. Okay.
Is there another Factory 01?
There is not.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Wait, do me a favor. Go back into that warehouse you were at. Spawn a bunch of enemies on the opposite side of that shelf and get their attention. Go back to that shipping zone you were in.
So this right here, that's what you want them to crawl under, right?
Right, now go back where you were.
Also die können halt jetzt da durchkrabbeln, ne?
Yeah. I'm saying you want them...
So if you spawn them on the opposite side of this, right here. Yeah, spawn them on the opposite side of that shelf. A whole bunch. And then... Yeah,
I should have chosen Fertile.
Yeah,
I should have chosen Fertile.
There you
saw
go.
it, everybody, but I should have chosen Fertile.
So they navigate 1 meter really well
Die
now.
krabbeln da einfach durch, ey.
Yes.
Wahnsinn.
Let's do
Hats
just
off to Sean and Adam, the animators that have made that more robust and possible.
Das heißt, wir brauchen einen neuen Zombie-Animator. Also ich für meine Mod.
Controller. The trickle spawn for frame rate and for better pacing in the POIs too. It's not all the areas are just like 30 zombies at once. There's some peaks and valleys in the pacing.
Die krabbeln da einfach durch.
So we had the next topic. We did do some updates to Navigating to improve it, to change the biome layout a bit, to accommodate the biome progression, to put more higher tier PO5s in the higher tiered biomes. Things like that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to showing off. The guys have made, it's kind of a new class. We call it a tier 5, wilderness. There was a few of them before, but they've kind of gone deeper into that. There's 3 new tier 5 wilderness POIs coming to this build. Why don't you go to the quarry and let's show a little
Also man
bit
sieht Norman ja wirklich selten sprachlos, aber Wahnsinn.
What is...
Geil. Echt geil.
Just type quarry and see what it does.
Schade, ist nicht drauf.
No, two R's.
Oh, it helps if I spell
right. Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah. Okay, everybody, I get it. I spelled it wrong. Everybody instantly corrected me.
There's one of those in like in Wasteland.
Oh, man sieht jetzt auch, in welchem Forest das ist. In welchem Biom das ist. War das vorher auch schon?
Everybody corrected me so fast.
Glaube nicht.
Okay, so this is it. You can notice in the Wasteland, if you look around, the new trees in the Wasteland are stylistically, they're creepy. Look back behind you.
No, there's one right there.
Krasser Baum.
We got rid of sort of the cheesy Halloween haunted, but they're a little more stylized to separate the Wasteland from the burnt forest in a more meaningful way. So this is the quarry. This is built by Hernan. This is a tier 5 wilderness POI. It's humongous. It's 100 meters by 100 meters. It's a it's
okay,
big.
das ist schon wieder
eine... Do you want me to do a flyby? Do you want me to actually go through it? What do you want me to do?
If you want to play a little bit of it, or just fly through some of the areas and don't spoil everything about it.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil everything. We can spoil the first minute or two, maybe.
I'm not sure if that's the right path. Maybe that's the quest.
Stay down. That's the bathroom. I found the bathroom. If I needed to pee, that's where I would go.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, Aufenthaltsraum. Oh ja, erstmal alles triggern. Jetzt kommt nach den Zombie-Varianten, die wir gerade gesehen haben, kommt ein wilder, ein Feral wie nichts mehr vor, ne? Jo, das ist auch einfach ein Tier 5 Gebäude.
Nope.
To get you into the...
I feel like that switch was supposed to do something, but it's not. I'll wait for you.
If you want to fly around a bit and not spoil everything, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened? Oh, wow.
Here, I will
Just
give a little look.
Fly around and show them the beautiful terrain work that's been done. It looks
ohne
right
Ende
out of Fallout.
Bergbau-POIs.
POI. And it goes underground and does... it's quite extensive. It's quite challenging.
Ist auf jeden Fall richtig krass, ne? Wahnsinn.
So this is a quarry made by Hernan. Beautiful work here.
Was
you want to show them a little bit of the teleport to the mine? Let's show them some of Earl's.
Ich freue mich so sehr.
Sure. Okay, so
da kriege ich ein Höhenchen endlich. Ist das geil.
Quarry, there's a mine and there's a
hybrid mining
underground government facility that Eric's working on. It is quite amazing.
Did I spell mine right? I mean, since you're all correcting me, did I spell mine right? Sorry. Moving on.
Folks, we're going to talk about the dedicated server stuff towards the end. I see a lot of people asking about that.
Don't you worry. We have not forgotten you.
We have some good news there. So this is Hybrid Mining Company. It's another sort of 100 by 100 meter tier 5 wilderness that's quite elevated in challenge.
Schade, dass das bei Prime so ruckelt.
You're run into these, and this is not for the meek.
Boah, geile POIs.
Das ist auf
jeden Fall ordentlich zu tun. Das ist auf jeden Fall ordentlich zu tun.
So there's 3 of these big bad boys coming. There's nearly 140 POIs total. They're coming to 2.0. We've added a lot of sort of wilderness remnants and city remnants, and we probably want to go to some of those. Why don't you go to cave_06? Let's show them kind of like some of the beauty of some of the wilderness POIs that the guys have been making.
Cave_06. Did I spell cave right, everybody? Yeah, that's right. I'm going to keep on about it.
So there's some really great terrain. The terrain tools have been improved, and there's some really interesting POIs that have, that has gameplay in it. You can find it in wilderness. This is sort of an really great terrain sculpting. It's really fun and cool.
Geil.
So instead of just a random burnt house with no road connected to it or anything like that, the guys have put a lot of work into wilderness POIs having more variety, and Sean had worked on adding,
das ist eine Einser, aber das ist eine coole Einser. Die sieht richtig gut aus, die Höhle.
So yeah, these are real fun.
Die ist wirklich gut.
This is example. How about going to cave_11? See if that's in there. Let's show them another one.
Die ist auch gut. Sehr, sehr cool.
And you can see the burnt forest has sort of like updated trees that are a little more unified and different than.
Also wirklich Respekt an die Pimps, was sie in dem letzten Jahr gerissen haben. Das ist ja Wahnsinn. Das ist ja kompletter
Here's a little
Wahnsinn.
kind of fun little cavern that you could find. This one Eric made.
Die ist auch nice. Die sind echt cool.
Totally utilizing sort of like the, terrain sculpting tool improvements that have gone on this last year and a half.
Das ist ja unglaublich.
So 140 POIs total coming to
140. Was? 140 neue POIs. Wow.
That could be in towns and etc.
Da wird sich Dirk aber freuen.
Okay, sure. How about?
Alter Schwede.
Let's give Jesus a little shout out here. cave_19.
Okay.
Ist das
We've had a
verrückt.
couple level designers that have come on since 1.0. Jesus and Danny, I want to give them a shout out. Welcome to the team. This will be their first build having content ship with TFP. Jesus is from Spain and Danny's from the UK. So we have people all over the world. So you know these are fun to find and explore, and they're not all giant amounts of monster closet type stuff, but there's loot to be had, and you're like wow, that's fun to find in the wilderness.
Will Navigaine receive many of the new POIs?
Earl has been updating it with quite a few. There's too many POIs for Navigaine to have them all, to be honest. I mean, unless we
Für Navigaine sind das zu viele POIs, die alle zu haben. Also Navigaine wird wohl nicht extrem angepasst.
Some every update. Quite a bit of work's been done in Navigaine.
Yeah.
If you want to give give Danny a look, let's look at Rubble_burnt filler 18. This is one that he's done.
Okay, so
there's also wilderness POIs in other biomes. I assume it's in the burnt forest.
Wait. Rubble_burnt
filler 18. Yeah, it's down about middle row, about 3/4 down. You already
got it. I got it. Wait.
So, it must be. Oh, it's right where you're at, maybe.
Let's do the other one. I mean,
all right, maybe that.
No.
Oh.
Alter, was ist das denn für ein dicker Baum?
Okay, so it's like a burnt house.
oh.
Yeah. No, behind you. There you go.
Yeah.
So there's little, it's meant to blend in with the burnt forest. So it'd be a gravel road to it, and it's a explorable POI that doesn't have a lot of enemies in it necessarily.
Alleine das Ding ist schon unglaublich viel Arbeit, dass das so aussieht.
If you got in a pinch.
Das können wir glauben.
And let's do one more. Let's show them Atomic Burger in the Wasteland.
Sure.
Alter Schwede, wie viel
What is
POIs?
the name?
140.
Yep, that's it.
Das ist krank. Das ist richtig krank.
This is kind of fun.
Oh, cool.
Go around to the front of this thing.
Oh, der ist auch geil, Alter.
Really
Atomic Burger. Ist auch
there we
nice.
go. There's Atomic Burger.
Der ist geil.
For you Fallout fans.
For the Fallout fans, ja.
So that's in the Wasteland.
Krass.
This is an example of Remnant. There's a ton of kind of wilderness POIs that have been added to the game to give it wilderness a lot more
Wild.
charm and variety, branding, if you will. Okay, I guess I'll talk about audio next. So Andrew has been busy he's done a ton of work on this build, and he's kind of audio guys they tend to be kind of an unsung hero. I used to be an audio guy, and I know about that. And their work is often not recognized, but he's done a lot of stuff to make footsteps more unique in the world, more immersive, player footsteps, zombie footsteps, unique sound cues for the new enemy types, the Plague Spitter and the Frostclaw. A lot of the inventory sounds when you manage your inventory, you scrap something or move something that is a certain class will have kind of a class-based sort of sound effect to it. There. We can skip around here and show them the new hand items if you want in your belt.
Sure.
Once you put a stew, a plate,
New meshes.
We'll skip around.
That's fine.
Can, like a
Oh,
sham.
what? Auch die Nadel, oder was?
Pills.
Actually, hold on, wait a minute.
Stew,
No,
plate.
let's do the dog food since my dog Sparky's on there. So.
And then put it in your belt, if you would.
My dog Sparky.
Empty your belt and put all the stuff in your belt. Get a stew.
Ja, das wurde aber auch Zeit.
So people have been asking for a long time about better sort of immersive hand items, and the team has responded to those requests.
Oh, guckt euch das mal an, was alles angepasst worden ist.
Like get a different colored smoothie like that.
Du kannst Smoothies trinken, um dich da aufzuhalten.
No, sorry.
Krass.
Sorry, I was grabbing other stuff. Here, you can grab a smoothie.
Ja.
Ooh, that's the, well, sure, why not?
So the icons have been reworked, and the hand items have been reworked, and then there's a hand.
Okay,
so
cool.
you can see there is a can of dog food. I think the guys are moving the labels so they're rotated so you can see it better in the camera. But my head's in the way.
Yeah,
but,
you can't. It doesn't matter. You can't see it anyway. Here, I can hide you for just a moment so they can see.
There we go. Now show them how that works.
Es wird sogar aufgemacht.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
Down the gullet.
Sehr, sehr cool.
So
Gut,
then there's various colored liquids, based on the color of the liquid. The beef stew actually has something that's like
krass.
that. The plate, there's a plate of food that's different.
Geil.
And if you have pills, it has kind of a fun animation there. Oh, there goes that lid. Yeah.
Cool.
And so there are still a few things that are sort of the parcel. I think it's a new parcel.
There's
syringe. That's awesome.
Syringe.
I love the personality to the animations there. That's pretty sick.
Das ist wirklich geil.
Now Lathan did a lot of the work on this. So why don't we show them? We'll talk about a little bit how cosmetics, how you'd be wearing clothing and armor for protection, but you can change your cosmetic look. How that works in the game now.
Sure. Hey,
jetzt kommt das
back,
auch noch.
Okay, so we now have a cosmetic system. So I could be wearing anything. Here, let me get a full suit though. Actually, before I demonstrate this, let me let's get the full look going here, and then also let's get maybe the biker. Sure. Let's do the biker as an example. So I'm going to put on let's see, that one, and that one. So we now look. I am in full primitive gear. It's like no.
So jetzt haben wir den Schutz von primitiv.
You have to scrap the biker gear to be able to.
You do. So
when you go ahead.
I mean, if you want to explain it, you can. I don't mind.
All right. So basically, you can.
Da sind schon andere Rüstungen
go back
zu
to your other
sehen.
slot that's non-cosmetic. Your normal just hit B or escape and back. So you have your 4 slots below your character. This is what those 4 slots below your character on the bottom there are what you're actually wearing for protection, buffs, etc. that you might have if you had deep pockets, mods, and things like that. But then when you hit that little wardrobe model there on the top right by the character, it goes into the cosmetics, and this sets how you look. So you can be wearing a particular 4 sets of clothing for protection, but then you can change this aspect to
Da sind schon 3 drin, die kann man dann kaufen. Das sind die man in den DLCs kaufen kann.
Find and scrap an item to unlock it as a cosmetic in the game, or
Bild.
So there, I just scrapped all of them. So the entire biker outfit is now scrapped. Now,
okay.
Whenever I come in here, there's
Dann
the biker.
hast du das.
There's the biker.
You can apply the whole set there. It's a little hard to distinguish between color and grayscale in some cases, but
it is. But if it has the darker background around it, then that means it is locked. So now I can apply the single cosmetic, or I can just apply the whole set. So at that point, bam, I look like that.
So you now go back and show the other screen again. So
still wearing the same armor, but I look like this.
Yeah, and if you were on a bicycle or
bin ich nicht so begeistert
your
von,
friends
weil
saw
ich
you,
finde,
they'd see
die
you in
Rüstung,
your
die man
biker
hat,
look,
so
but you'd
sollte
be
man auch
wearing
aussehen. Meine Meinung.
So stupidly, you'd be wearing your primitive armor for protection.
Yeah. In the wasteland, by the way. In the wasteland. But there we are, everybody.
So he's wearing primitive armor, but he looks like a biker. So
Yes.
he looks like a badass, but really he's not.
Yeah, well, I mean, I killed a lot of zombies.
So as we roll out Twitch drops, etc., for cosmetics, or we get into DLCs, you would see them in this menu for additional cosmetic looks.
Yes, they would look like these down here, which I'm probably not going to click on it, but they'd look like those.
Yeah,
because they're still enabled in here. Unless you want to tease one of them, I mean that's a.
Oh, so you guys have asked about third-person view. We have worked on third-person view. It's not ready for 2.0, but we feel we feel like we could roll it out in a 2.1 or 2.2 patch. It's close, but not quite. You know, we know it would pair well with this, and we're excited for it, but not quite yet. Do you want to? So that's it for cosmetics. You know, stay tuned for Twitch drops and
Yes.
and some DLCs. In the future.
We will have Twitch drops. Yes, we are not ready to share what and the what of that, but we will have them. Yes.
Soon after 2.0, stay tuned.
Yes, that.
Let's. You want to take a quest and show them the quest marker?
Yeah, sure. Let me head over to this quest that is. You know, I'm not going to do that. Actually, let me. That's going to take forever.
You could.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's do that. I was going to shift Q the whole way there, and that was going to be obnoxious.
So there's other than the large kind of floating exclamation. I'm going to give Justin and I think Young Hao a shout out. This was done in 1.0, but we didn't have time to integrate it before. But there's a quest rally marker that is sort of specific to quest. It has flags and lights on it. It kind of looks like a beacon. There's an example. So this is a dig quest, and you can kind of see there's a dig emblem there. And you would see that instead of the mobbing exclamation point. Gives you basically a little bit of a better visual to represent that. But the flag would change out based on the quest type.
Oh, ich war gemutet. Das ist auf jeden Fall geil.
I mean, yes, I could just went into the ground too. I mean,
so that's the quest marker.
Der Questmarker, gut, okay, der ist neu. Gefällt mir auch.
Use items. So we're going. Yeah, we're going all right. I think we said 2 hours tonight.
Yeah, 2 hours. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. Let's get through. We still have a few more things to discuss. I think the next topic is the one they keep asking about over and over.
So cautiously and optimistically, we passed certification for dedicated server crossplay.
Okay, jetzt kommt dediziert Server.
About that. That means PS5 players can play with Xbox X and S series players, with Windows players, with Steam players, all in the same dedicated servers.
Also es wird funktionieren.
There are some specific settings that the server admins would have to set. There's a couple config things in the server.xml. If you're familiar with that and you're running a server, I think it has to have a platform.config must have contain PSN for XBL, and then you have to keep the server MAC count to 8 or below. Server allow crossplay set to true. EAC
Map ist immer noch 8K.
US sanctions set to false. And other than that, there's not a lot of restrictions, and you should see it in your server browser. Paired nicely with that is the next feature, or a couple next features that would pair really nicely with that, about how you might join your buddies. Lathan, we can talk about that.
Sure. When you join a server, you can now spawn with your friends. I mean, that's really it. I mean, that's the thing I've been looking for.
Okay, man kann jetzt mit seinen Freunden zusammen am gleichen Ort spawnen. Das ging ja vorher nicht.
To take, 20
einer
minutes
ist da
running
gespawnt,
to each
einer
other.
da.
Yeah, that fixes that, everybody.
Okay, cool.
So basically, as long as your friend is not in a biome that would kill you right away,
That's true. Yeah.
you'd spawn near him.
Okay, wenn man nicht in einem Biom ist, was einen tötet, dann kannst du bei deinem Freund jetzt spawnen. Dann wirst du wahrscheinlich gefragt, willst du bei deinem Freund spawnen? Ja, nein.
It's real exciting. It's quite good.
Yeah, so we have integrated Discord into our voice chat. So that's what we're using now for voice chat. It gives you a rich presence. You can invite people to game through Discord. There's a lot of other features.
Man kann jetzt über Discord Leute einladen und auch über Discord dann mit denen direkt in-game sprechen.
Discord, which can be hidden.
Cool.
Go ahead.
So if you link your account, it'll use your Discord account.
Muss natürlich verlinkt sein mit deinem Discord.
Anonymous account, you call it, I guess. If you don't have Discord, it would give you a temporary anonymous account. It's quite good. The voice quality is really amazing. We're excited about it. It makes it easier to play with your friends. They have what's called a universal friends list too for invites. That's also in there.
Yeah,
cross-platform invites. If you you all had Discord, but one was on PC and one was on PlayStation or Xbox, you could
it would work there.
Yeah, it works. It works there. So I know we've been holding that back for a while, and the reason being is, it's not a lot of fanfare when you get through cert on something like this. Not a lot of games do this, and we were like, well, wait, we passed? Did we pass? They didn't fail us. I guess we passed. There's usually a lot of restrictions involved and a lot of red tape, and so we've been close-lipped about that because we weren't sure until it actually passed cert, and they have been known to potentially change their minds if they find something in a later certification that we didn't anticipate. We've run into that, FYI. So anyway, it's all good news. We're real excited about that feature. 2.0 for console will be stable. PC, Steam, and we're still looking at June 30th as a very, very strong date for us. Unless something explodes, it's been playing really good for a while now.
Oh mein Gott, da fragt jemand wirklich, ob Darkness Force kompatibel ist. Cool. Oh mein Gott.
There's one more topic if you wanted to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. So we put in DLSS upscaling, which is NVIDIA's native upscaling graphics feature. There's a setting there. You can set that. It has a few artifacts with it, but the performance and overall quality is pretty awesome. We'll be adding some new weapons in future updates. I know you all like authentic weapons and more weapon types, and we've been putting some thought into that. Yeah. What do we have here? We got a little bit of time. Maybe we could.
Yeah, a little bit.
Any questions stand out to you? If you can distill any.
So, I think I keep seeing stuff about modded. I don't think that's modded on crossplay, because I don't think mods, for the most part, unless they are just XML based mods, I'm not sure if those are going to work on consoles anyway. So
there's considerable work there, like Fallout curated mods.
Okay, Sie gehen jetzt noch in die Fragerunde. Das war's anscheinend mit dem, was Sie zeigen wollten.
The pipeline.
Jetzt fangen sie natürlich an, darüber zu sprechen, ob Mods kompatibel sind und so weiter oder ob man das im Crossplay, das ist natürlich alles Blödsinn, Freunde. ja, warum auch immer sowas jetzt gefragt wird. Wir warten jetzt noch mal kurz ab, ob sie vielleicht doch noch mehr zeigen, aber sie haben gerade schon gesagt, sie wollen maximal 2 Stunden machen. Von daher gehe ich mal davon aus, dass sie jetzt schon durch sind. Das ging ja auch relativ schnell, aber es war sehr, sehr viel und ich bin verdammt beeindruckt, muss ich wirklich sagen. Aber wir warten jetzt mal noch kurz ab.
That they may not have experienced, walk day, run day, walk night is fun. There's a ton of them, Feral Sense is fun. We are planning Steam Workshop integration.
Ja gut, das sind aber jetzt ja schon wieder Sachen von der Zukunft, wo sie jetzt drüber sprechen.
We could pull off dedicated servers with everybody, and that seemed like a pipe dream 2 years ago, and here we are with that launching. So,
jetzt kommen natürlich die wildesten Fragen wieder. Ne? Das gucke ich mir gar nicht an, da kriege ich ein zu viel bei manchen Fragen.
Challenge in late game is super exciting. The storms and biome progression are fun. Believe it or not, the loot cap is fun. It pushes you along. It moves you along instead of just kind of like camping in the forest biome. It's like maybe you should progress and experience some challenge in the game.
So I'm trying to see questions, but it's just flowing down so fast that it's like, man, I'm trying to see if there's any.
Okay, also da kommen jetzt wirklich nur noch die Fragen, Freunde. Deswegen, da kommen immer die wildesten Fragen. Das habe ich mir in den letzten Jahren immer angeguckt und im Grunde genommen kommen da wirklich nur noch die wildesten Fragen. Also ich bin wirklich, wirklich beeindruckt von dem, was auf uns zukommt, muss ich ganz ehrlich sagen. Und okay, das war falsch und dementsprechend schade, ich vergesse immer diesen Einspieler auszumachen, bevor ich wechsle. Aber Wahnsinn. Ich glaube wirklich, es wird das geilste Update überhaupt. Ich freue mich unglaublich darauf und ich hoffe, dass wir uns in dem Streamer-Weekend am Freitag sehen. Und wir werden natürlich Vollgas geben, um in alle Biome zu kommen, so viele neue POIs spielen wie möglich und. Ich freue mich darauf. Ich hoffe, wir sehen uns. Haut rein, euer Nordmann.